Be a servant. Find out how to follow the example of the greatest servant of all in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. No one saw this coming. Jesus has just entered Jerusalem to the adulation of the crowds. They welcomed him like a conquering hero. Now he gathers with his disciples for what they probably thought was a celebratory dinner. After all, the crowds finally recognized Jesus as king, right? Well, Jesus knew the truth. He knew the events of the next few days would lead to the cross. He knew his disciples would all abandon him. One of them would even betray him to the religious leaders. What Jesus does next surprised everyone in the room. Jesus washed their feet. Washing feet was a New Testament custom both out of necessity and hospitality. Necessity because everyone's feet got filthy walking around on dirt roads in sandals. Nobody wanted to spread that all over their house. But foot washing was more than just an act of housekeeping. It became an act of hospitality. If a guest came into your home and you didn't wash their feet, it was considered a major social mistake. No one would return to a house of such rudeness. Still, no one wanted to be the one washing people's bunions, so the job usually went to the lowest servant of all. Now here is Jesus, the man just welcomed into Jerusalem with cries of Hosanna, taking on the role of the household's lowliest servant. Not only that, he's washing the feet of those he knows will turn their backs on him at his worst moment. And then there were the feet of Judas. Jesus knew as he performed this act of sacrifice that the feet he was holding would soon walk into the courts and sell him for a few pieces of silver. Why did Jesus do it? Well, he explains why in John chapter 13, verse 15. For I have given you an example, that you also should do just as I have done to you. We often categorize people in our lives. There are the folks that we'd do anything for them. And then there are the folks that we just assumed they'd fend for themselves, leave us alone. There are folks we would serve in a heartbeat, and folks we wouldn't be caught dead serving. Jesus, in John chapter 13, through what he did and what he said, makes an extraordinary statement. There is no one we are not called to serve. That's a tall order. First of all, how in the world are we going to do that? We can't possibly get to everyone in the world. We don't have the resources to meet every need. We couldn't possibly get around to everyone, much less serve them. Jesus, as he always does, provides us with a perfect example. Jesus was wise in how he served. He didn't give everyone everything they wanted. Much of what we want isn't really what we need, and learning patience for the things we do need is actually a huge benefit. Jesus didn't heal every sick person in his time here on earth. There were times when he went away for rest and prayer. Surely there were still people with needs on those days. When Jesus did serve, it wasn't always in the ways that people anticipated. But Jesus always served. We should too. There will always be opportunities to serve. God will always provide us with ways to use the talents and gifts that we have to serve him. The question's not finding a place to serve. The question is our readiness to serve. Here, as always, Jesus gives us the perfect answer. In everything we do, we should seek to serve Christ. We all have opportunities in life to do something so unexpected, something no one else wants to do, something that will elicit the same question. Why are you doing that? And when we hear that question, we can give the same answer. Because of all that Jesus has done for me, I'm doing this for you. If you're looking for a place to witness, just look for a place to serve, because now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.